Hello, AP students. This will lead you through an explanation of how to use the Equilibrium Supplemental book that we are choosing to use when we learn chemical equilibrium. This red book, which is often what I call it, is written by the same author, Zumdahl, that our course textbook is. We have just found that Zumdahl presents equilibrium in smaller, more concise portions. And so where in your textbook, equilibrium is taught in 3 very large chapters, it's broken up into smaller, more manageable units, 5 units within this textbook. Now, you can continue to use, though, the support of this book to learn equilibrium or to further explain what you feel might need a little more beyond what the red book gives you. Unit 1 of the red book is also taught in chapter 13. But in your textbook, Zumdahl utilizes a greater expanse of language. So where in the red book, it might take a paragraph to communicate something, Zumdahl probably takes a whole page in this text along with some graphics, which really might help your understanding from time to time. So I encourage you, please utilize this, follow the same general order as the supplemental book does. We will return back to this book for the last 2 units of study. So please, again, utilize your course textbook for additional examples, additional teaching whenever needed. We will tackle unit by unit in our red book. Now, the red book is really kind of down and dirty and concise. It is just direct in its teaching and direct in its presentation. It's black and white with very few graphics and images. We are going to learn the basics of equilibria by focusing on gaseous equilibria. So we can't prioritize enough how important it is to grasp every aspect of the foundational unit. So this is where we're starting. Then we will focus on acid-base equilibria. And I will be absolutely transparent. This often, in the student's perspective, is the most challenging. It's also the most lengthy because there are so many different concepts for us to tackle. So even though Zumdahl has, broken it apart into smaller pieces, you can handle it. We just need to make sure that we're not leaving learning and practicing until really close to the exam. So we really want to be managing our time and really deeply learning as we are going. After we spend time with this acid-base unit, you can't imagine now, but you just wait till you see all that we will learn about the nitty-gritty details of acid-base titrations and how indicators work. Then we will pull together portions of Unit 4 and 5 to finish our learning of chemical equilibrium. So you can, follow along. We will learn in order that Zumdahl presents each unit by section. So there's always, an overview of the unit, and then the first section of Unit 1, and then the second section of Unit 1, and so on. And so, again, just really concise terminology, examples. All right. Now, your unit assignment, you will find first are listed tests. The tests are embedded within the chapter. And the tests are designated per the unit, 1, and then the number of the test. So test 1.1 is just the first test in Unit 1. It doesn't have anything to do with the section you find it in. A test can have multiple parts, or it could just ask for one solution or one conceptual kind of answer. You can be confident that the test will involve the information that you find just previous to the test. And so if it's a problem, I bet there's a similar problem just before it, or maybe 2 pages ahead of it. So if you get stuck, you can refer just above it or the page or 2 before that. You can identify a test because it will be in caps and numbered, but also preceded and followed by a bold division line, these horizontal lines. So then we're in the next section and continuing onward, but on page 8 is the next test, the second test in Unit 1. And you can see that this is just actually asking for you to find 2 answers to a problem. And then we'll continue. There's our next test. Again, you can tell it's in bold and preceded by and followed by this bolded horizontal. And continuing there is the next test. And so usually every unit has about 10 tests, but they are embedded within the unit. I will let you know when I think we've learned the content to be able to tackle certain tests, but you can also do a measure of that. So every unit is about 20 pages long. Actually, Unit 1 is exactly 20 pages, and we'll find the very last test. After the test, there are exercises, and those are the end of the unit questions, just like we had on past unit assignments. So I'll always assign a handful of these, and you will just provide the work and the answers for those. After the exercises, there are multiple choice questions. And of course, you are just choosing the letter of the best choice for the multiple choice. If the multiple choice questions involve some work, please do show some work. It's really easy to just write the letter of the answer or to ask your neighbor what the answer was, the letter. But showing a little bit of work is just good evidence that I know that you really thought through it and you really came up with the answer because of the work you did. Okay, so the unit assignment will be comprised of tests, exercises, and multiple choice questions. So how do you know that you're doing the work correctly? Well, these red books are teaching, example problems, but also a solution guide all in one. So at the very end of the book, the very end, you will find the work and the answers to the tests. So beginning on page 154, they will show you where applicable the work, but the answers. And so test 1.1, test 1.2, test 1.3, and so on. Now, the way that we solve equilibrium problems is applying an ice table. So you will know what this is very soon. Zumdahl alludes to ice tables and sometimes sets up ice tables, but this is how we do it. Ice tables are preferred by the College Board and the majority of collegiate professionals. This is how we solve equilibrium problems. So, for example, here's not an ice table, but he's walked you through it. So if you mimic this instead of an ice table, I will know that you've directly copied. And so please do the work to really understand how we problem solve with equilibrium. It will pay off. It will pay off. So within here are the work and answers to the tests. After that, you will find on page 195 the answers to the exercises. the answers for the even and the odd. And then at the very end, page 199, you will find the answers to the multiple choice questions. So you get the work and the answers for the tests. You get the answers to the exercises and the answers to the multiple choice. And I will address any concerns specifically about unit assignment questions at any time, along with how do we best utilize this excellent supplemental for our adventure in equilibrium. It will be a great learning experience. Can't wait to start it with you.